Do you think I'm attractive? If it was me, I'd try to make the relationship with you last for a year. Kinda sorta have a crush on you and shouldn't.
Alright guys, buckle up because today we're diving into a story that feels like it was generated by an AI that was told to combine early internet cringe, midlife crisis, and please log off immediately, and then just hit randomize. This is about a guy I'm gonna call Buddy because that's what he went by, but honestly, Buddy is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. That name implies someone you trust to help you move a couch, not someone who makes you want to uninstall the entire internet. So picture this. It's the early days of TikTok. Musical.ly just got Thanos snapped out of existence. TikTok rises from the ashes like a phoenix that discovered lip syncing, and everyone's figuring out what kind of content works. Some people are dancing, some are doing comedy, and then there's Buddy, doing whatever this is. Buddy jumps onto the platform like he just found the last lifeboat off a sinking ship. He's making duet videos, he's doing those deep relationship monologues that sound like they were written by a fortune cookie going through a divorce, and somehow, against all odds, he actually goes viral. And when I say viral, I don't mean, wow, this is great. I mean the kind of viral where you feel your immune system trying to fight it off. One of his big hits is this whole "good girls like bad boys" speech, which sounds like something you'd hear at 2 a.m. from a guy leaning against a gas station fridge full of Red Bull. It's that classic energy of someone who thinks they're dropping wisdom, but is really just narrating their own confusion.
You don't have to be funny. Hell, you don't even have to be really that good looking. What they really want is they want a Batman in the streets and a Joker in the sheets.
Now, normally, this is where the story would end. Guy makes cringe content, internet laughs, everyone moves on. That's the natural life cycle. It's like a digital ecosystem, cringe in, memes out. But no, this story decides to take a hard left turn into "why is this happening" territory. People start noticing a pattern in Buddy's content, and not a subtle one either. This isn't like spotting a hidden Easter egg in a Pixar movie. This is more like someone spray painted the clue directly onto the wall. He's doing a lot, like a concerning amount, of duets with accounts that appear very young. And just to be clear, duets on TikTok aren't random. It's not like ChatGPT roulette where you hit a button and hope for the best. You have to choose the video. You go out of your way to click it. It's a deliberate action. So when you see dozens of these, people start raising eyebrows. And not just a little eyebrow raise. This is full-on The Rock level suspicion. And the tone of some of these duets? Let's just say they're not giving wholesome community engagement. It's more like uncomfortable. The kind of uncomfortable where you instinctively check if anyone else is in the room with you watching it. So now the internet does what the internet does best. It puts on its detective hat. And by detective hat, I mean a combination of curiosity, boredom, and way too much free time. People start digging. And when the internet decides to dig, it doesn't bring a shovel, it brings a full excavation crew. That's when things shift from "this is weird" to "this is a problem." Because now, it's not just about the videos anymore. It's about what happens behind the scenes, and trust me, it only gets worse. At this point, curiosity has evolved into a full-blown investigation. We've gone from, that's weird, to, alright, somebody open a spreadsheet. Eventually, someone decides to take it a step further. Enter the classic internet sting operation. Now, if you've been online long enough, you already know how this goes. Someone pretends to be underage, starts a conversation, and waits to see if the other person immediately fumbles their entire existence. It's basically the digital version of a rake on the ground. You just watch and see who steps on it. So someone reaches out to Buddy, posing as a 14-year-old, and here's where things go from concerning to catastrophically bad decisions. Buddy doesn't hesitate. There's no pause, no "wait a minute," no moment of clarity where he rethinks his life choices. He jumps into the conversation like it's a speed run to ruin his own reputation. The age is made very clear. Not hidden, not implied, straight up stated. 14. That's not a maybe. That's not a "they look young." That's a giant flashing neon sign that says "do not proceed." And Buddy looks at that sign and goes, yeah, I'm gonna proceed. He starts getting flirty, and not in a vague, this could be misinterpreted kind of way. No, this is the kind of messaging where even autocorrect is like, hey man, you sure about this? At one point, he literally acknowledges that it's wrong. Like, he knows. He says it out loud in text. It's the digital equivalent of someone saying, this is a bad idea, while actively continuing to do the bad idea. That's not a red flag anymore. That's a red billboard. And if you're thinking, well, surely that's as bad as it gets. Oh no, 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 no. That would be too reasonable. This story does not believe in reasonable stopping points, because then he decides to send an explicit photo, unprompted, to someone he believes is 14. I don't even have a joke for that. That's just speed running consequences any percent. And immediately after, he goes into panic mode. You know that switch where someone suddenly realizes they've just detonated their own life? Yeah, that. He starts backpedaling, getting insecure, asking if they think he's ugly. It's like watching someone try to put out a house fire with a cup of water. Please delete it. I feel weird. Yeah, no kidding. That's the first accurate statement in this entire saga. And at this point, you think, okay, case closed. Roll credits. Internet packs it up, everyone agrees this is bad, and we never hear from this guy again. But the story just keeps going, because apparently that wasn't enough chaos for one timeline. There are also messages where he's sending money, like he's trying to start some kind of bargain bin sugar daddy situation, which is already weird, but combined with everything else, it's like stacking bad decisions into a Jenga tower and then aggressively shaking the table. So all of this gets compiled, messages, screenshots, the whole digital paper trail, and it gets released. And when the internet sees this, it's not subtle. This isn't a let's discuss this calmly moment. This is a full-on tidal wave of backlash. His comments? Cooked. His reputation? Deep fried. His entire online presence basically turned into a public bonfire. And instead of, I don't know, logging off, reflecting, maybe disappearing quietly, Buddy does the exact opposite. He uploads a video. And not an apology video. Oh no. This man hits record and basically says, to all my haters, you're just making me stronger. That's the energy. That's the play. It's like watching someone pour gasoline on a fire and then act surprised when it gets bigger. And the wild part? This never works. In the history of the internet, nobody has ever said, you're just fueling me, and then had things improve. That's not how this works. All it does is turn the situation from people are upset to people are now motivated. And trust me, you do not want the internet motivated, because once that happens, things escalate fast.
What's up, guys? So just the day coming at you with another public service announcement. So, for all those that have been following me and giving me love and giving me sweet comments and duets and everything and reactions, thank you so much. Sorry, my glasses broke, so I'm still kind of like getting them. Maybe I'll get some new ones or find my spares, but I appreciate you more than anything you'll ever know. To my haters, all you're doing is fueling the fire. When you comment, like my stuff, follow me, and react to my videos trying to down me, you're just making it worse for you. So, do yourself a favor, block me. If you don't like my stuff. If you don't like what I do, block me. Because I will continue to do duets with my fans that love me.
So now the internet is no longer just watching, it's actively participating. And when that switch flips, things go from comment section roasting to full-on chaos mode. People start digging deeper, and I don't mean casually scrolling. I mean deep dive conspiracy board with red string energy. At some point, the situation escalates into doxing. Personal info gets leaked, not just his, but people around him too. Now, to be clear, that part, not good. That's where things cross into territory that just makes everything worse. Two wrongs don't magically unlock a good ending like some kind of moral combo move. But it does show just how out of control the situation had gotten. Because suddenly, Buddy goes from internet tough guy to please stop real quick. He uploads another video, and the tone shift is insane.
So as you can tell, I'm still here. But I now have another issue. I have now people that found me on Facebook. You harass me on Facebook, and I will take you to the police. Because this is getting way too far, people. This is too far.
It's like watching someone go from WWE promo mode to customer service apology in under 10 seconds. Now he's saying people are going too far, asking them to stop contacting him, stop harassing him, threatening to go to the police. And it's like, yeah, that part is too far, but also, this entire situation didn't just spawn out of thin air. You don't get to press the undo consequences button like it's a typo in a Google Doc. So after that, he disappears, deletes videos, goes quiet, basically vanishes from TikTok like a ghost that realized haunting wasn't working out. And for a moment, just a brief moment, it seems like that's the end of it. Roll credits. Everyone goes home. The weird saga concludes. But nope, because apparently this story has the pacing of a horror movie villain that just keeps getting back up. After some time off, Buddy returns. And not in a, hey, I've reflected and changed kind of way. No, he comes back like nothing happened. And somehow, it's worse. He goes right back into making duets. And again, a lot of them are with accounts that appear very young. It's like watching someone ignore every warning sign, every consequence, every possible off-ramp, and just floor it straight into the same wall again. And behind the scenes, more messages start leaking. More conversations, more questionable behavior. It becomes this ongoing cycle where people keep testing him with fake profiles, and he keeps failing the test like it's a class he refuses to study for. At this point, it's not even surprising anymore. It's just exhausting. But then we hit the moment, the big one, another sting operation. And this time, it doesn't stay online. He agrees to meet up in person, at a park, thinking he's meeting a minor. Let me say that again, because it sounds like something you'd hear in a badly written drama. He agrees to meet up in real life. That's not just bad judgment, that's launching yourself into the sun. So he shows up, and instead of who he expects, he's met by someone calling him out right there, face to face.
How are you?
Doing good.
Good.
What you up to?
I'm just hanging out.
Just hanging out?
Yep.
So you don't know anyone by the name of Kat?
No. I don't know anybody named Cat.
You weren't meeting anyone here by 6?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So
I've got a niece that's 14, so I wouldn't want some nasty freaking pedophile talking to her either.
yeah, it's just something that really aggravates me whenever I hear anything like that from anybody,
No,
especially
yeah.
especially someone that's so high up, like someone like R. Kelly, for example. That's something that really irritates me.
Yeah. I understand that, and you're just the way you go about it. I'm not a big fan of, but you are doing it your own way.
Right. So another thing I got a question about is, what would possess you to refer to a girl that's 17 or 16 as hun or babe or boo, anything like that?
Honestly, I'm just a friendly person, and maybe, that is, my fault because I'm just friendly to everyone.
Right.
But, I have been more conscientious about the things that I say. That way I don't come off that way to anybody.
Smart. And then the last thing I do want to ask about is the thing with the 16-year-old girl. So what was the real gist of that? Because there's still people confused about that.
That one? Okay, so from my understanding, yes, the girl was 16.
Right.
But she told me she was from the UK.
Okay.
Now, whether or not this is, something that really irritates people or not, age of consent in UK is 16. Everywhere.
Right.
So even if I was saying those things towards her, there's nothing illegal about that. Now,
Here there is.
yes, here.
Here in the United States there is. In the UK it is.
Not in every state.
So, legal doesn't necessarily mean right. Slavery was legal. A bunch of things were legal.
Okay,
Prostitution was legal.
But, so, I have talked to that girl since then.
Right.
Me and her are still friends to this day.
It's got that low budget to catch a predator energy. No dramatic lighting, no Chris Hansen stepping out from behind a curtain, just pure awkward confrontation. And Buddy's reaction? Denial, confusion, deflection, the whole starter pack. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just a friendly person. Ah, yes, the classic defense. I'm just friendly. Because apparently, in his world, friendly includes everything we just talked about, which is a bold redefinition of the word. Then he tries to argue technicalities. You know, the whole, well, in some places this is legal angle, which is always a terrible move. That's not a defense. That's digging your hole deeper and then decorating it. Because legal does not equal okay. Those are two completely different conversations, and bringing it up just makes everything worse. The whole interaction is painfully awkward, like watching someone try to talk their way out of a situation that's already been fully documented. There's no escape dialogue option here. The cutscene is locked in, and just like that, everything people suspected pretty much confirmed. So after that absolute disaster of a meetup, you think that's it, the final boss fight. There's no coming back from getting caught in 4K in a park like you just unlocked the worst ending in a video game. For a while, yeah, he disappears, deletes his TikTok, goes quiet, fades into the background. It's like the internet collectively exhales and goes, all right, that chapter's closed. But then, because of course there's a but then, he pops up again, this time on YouTube. And if you've been on the internet long enough, you already know what that means. It's apology video time. Except, it's not really an apology video. It's more like a, let me try to explain everything away while somehow making it worse video. He starts off by framing himself as just a guy who wanted to entertain people. You know, make some silly content, get a few laughs. Which is fine. On paper, that's what literally everyone on the platform is doing. But then he starts pulling out the classic YouTube apology bingo card. I was in a bad place. I was dealing with mental health issues. I wasn't in the right state of mind. And look, those are real things. Those are serious issues. But they're not a universal get out of jail free card for every bad decision ever made. You can't just stack those like Pokemon cards and expect it to cancel out everything else.
We are going to clear the air about the allegations that are surrounding me. So I guess a quick little rundown for those that aren't aware. Back in 2018, I started TikTok, Musically at the time. I started it to, at first I was bored. I saw it on Facebook. I was like, oh, that looks really cool. Let me give it a shot. Then as I got into it and started enjoying it, I wanted to find an outlet to entertain people. And so that's what I did. I started entertaining people at the, me being the butt of the joke, making cringy videos and me just not really caring what people think, just to maybe get a smile or a laugh or two out of people. And I did so successfully. I dealt with a lot of depression and anxiety, schizophrenia, alcohol abuse, and there's a lot of those videos that I was not necessarily in my correct state of mind, and that's on me. As far as the picture of my junk, I did say, I was having problems with alcohol and anxiety and depression with schizophrenia. I wasn't taking my medicine. I was using alcohol to self-medicate myself, and as a lot of people do, we take pictures and we do send them to people. More than anything, I was embarrassed that even got out in the first place. And then it got sent to someone who it should not have. I don't know how it got sent to someone that was underage. I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm staying away from TikTok. As much as you people ask me to go back, I'm staying away from it just so none of this shit happens again. So it doesn't get misconstrued again. I've stopped drinking completely. I'm back on my medicine. I'm in therapy. I'm getting the help that I need. I am finally at the point in my life where I feel like I can do that. Where I can admit my faults. Not accept the guilt, but accept the responsibility.
Anyway, before I disappear, just want to say thanks to everyone watching. Subscribers, new people, all of you. I appreciate it more than you know. Hope you have a good day, a good night, or whatever time it is for you. Stay safe.